on the grind. Back on the grind. Oops. Alright. Demonstrating Mac learning. Yep, see Mac, show Mac address table. Then we have to be in enable mode. If we do that, enable show Mac address table. Damn, we have one. And it's dynamic because it found it itself. I didn't send it. First, focusing MAC address and ports column. Yep. Next, look at the type field and the heading of the output table. Yeah, dynamic. How the switch learn right. In this case, the switch learn off. Port security and those would appear static. Finally, the VLAN gives us a chance to briefly discuss how VLANs impact switching logic. What that means is if a frame enters via port in VLAN 1, then the switch will forward or flood that frame out to other ports in VLAN 1 only, and not any other ports that happen to be. So, yep. That'll be a fun chapter. I only have 100 megabit internet speeds here. We have auto and a full. I assume a full is this one, right? Be the full half. Half would be, I don't know, something else. Yeah, then you have the 2 gigabit. Probably SSP ports or something. Oh my, that gigabit, huh? Okay. Harbor's and Lance addresses. It's an interesting MAC address. ARPA. I should make this interface a little bit larger. It's kind of hard to see. Well, it shows input and output. Okay. Packets. It's interesting it's showing it in packets and not as frames. Huh. I guess it should show you how to packets it delivers, because what else you put in the frame, really? Layer 2 is only the only reason it exists is to deliver layer 3 protocol stuff. Let me try this one. Alright, there we go. Cool. It doesn't like me. Why does it like that? Am I being lied to? Counters? I'm in enable mode. Oh, I need to show yeah, wait, that's what I'm doing. Show interfaces, counters. I'm gonna have to find some kind of lab after this chapter. Well, I didn't know that. Okay. Wait, hold on. Okay, so show works, yeah. And user and No. that was a waste of time there. I need to do like 50 pages, 100 pages a day. Yep. Mm-hmm. This sim light. Wait, does he have labs?
Welcome to Jeremy's IT Lab. This is a complete course for the CCNA, Cisco Certified Network Associate. In this video, we will look at an essential part of the course, the labs in Cisco Packet Tracer. First of all, what is a lab? In the world of IT, doing labs or labbing refers to hands-on practice with the technology you're studying. Since you're studying for the CCNA, labbing means practicing configuring Cisco routers and switches. There are a few options for CCNA labs. One is to buy actual physical Cisco hardware. You can download it, link for the flashcards. The lab files are in that same Google Drive, so there's no need to. Now, how can you get the lab files I provide for my course? It's the same as the Anki flashcards.
I'll just do this guy's
For the
labs.
flashcards, the lab files are in that same Google Drive, so there's no need to follow these steps again. Next, I'll demonstrate once more just in case. Here is the first lesson of the course again. In the top line of the description, there is this link. Free CCNA flashcards and packet tracer labs for the course. And the link is jitl.jp/ccna-files. Click on that link, and you will be redirected here to sendfox.com/Jeremy'sITLab. Enter your first name and email here, and then click join, and then you should get the files in your email. If there are any issues...
Okay, I gotta do from email or some shit. yeet. Here we go. Let's go. Let's get these labs. I don't want flash cores. Give me the labs. Wait, how many labs are there? Why is this so laggy? Oh, there's a lot. Should I do this too? I don't know. Alright, I think I just download these one at a time. Why didn't you just put this all in a zip, dude? Why would you do this to me? Why would you do this to me? Crazy. Can I even filter? Grid layout. Oh, it's gonna be worse. Google Drive, you suck. You suck. Download. Zipping one file. What am I downloading the whole thing? Better be the whole thing. No, don't do this shit to me, bro. Let's open the one up, see what happens. Does he have like a separate playlist for labs, or how does this work? here's the labs. Sweet. So I'll just do some of these.
Welcome to Jeremy's IT Lab. This is a complete course for the CCNA, Cisco Certified Network Associate. In this video, we will look at an essential part of the course, the labs in Cisco Packet Tracer. First of all, what is... Note that when you install Packet Tracer and then open it, you will have to log into your Cisco account again. After that, you should see my lab file like this if you opened Packet Tracer by clicking on the lab file. If not, just go to the File menu and click Open to open my lab file. In my lab files, the lab instructions will usually be on the left or bottom of the screen. And then there will be some devices I've already placed in the network. In this first lab, there is just one router, which I have named the Internet. Then, the lab instructions tell us to place the other devices to make a network. Note that throughout the course, I expect that you will be using my pre-made lab files to do your labs. You are free to make the labs yourself from scratch without downloading my lab files, but that won't work for all of my labs. Some labs in the course require troubleshooting. In those labs, I purposefully made some configuration mistakes, so it's your job to find those mistakes and fix them. Okay, before we go through the lab instructions for this first lab, I want to show you the Packet Tracer Preferences menu. Go to Options in the top menu, and then Preferences. In this first tab, the Interface tab, you can select things like whether or not device model labels are shown. I usually have this off, but if I turn it on, notice that above the Internet, 2911 appears. That is the model name of this router. It's a Cisco 2911 router. I just named it the Internet to represent the Internet. I prefer to have device model labels off, so I'll remove this. If you don't want to show the device name, you could uncheck this here too.
So
but I think it's best to leave the name. For example, all of the menu font sizes, or the font size in the device's command line interface. To make it easier to see in the videos, I set the font sizes fairly large, but feel free to set whatever size you prefer. You can also change the font colors. For example, if you want to feel like you're in the Matrix, change the router iOS text to green and the router iOS background to black. Then hit Apply and
It's
Exit.
a little too big.
Then click on the Internet router and go to the CLI tab. And hey, now you're officially a hacker. CLI stands for Command Line Interface, by the way. This is how we are going to be configuring routers and switches in the course.
Routers.
Anyway, I'll exit from here, and let's actually do this first lab, which involves recreating the network displayed at 16 minutes and 40 seconds of the Day 1 lecture video about network devices. Here's that network. In the middle, there is the Internet. In this lab, I'm just using a router to represent the Internet. Then there is the New York branch on the left with some PCs, a switch, a router, and a firewall. And in the Tokyo branch, there are 2 servers, a switch, a firewall, and a router. Also, somewhere over the Internet, there is an attacker. Okay, so let's recreate that network. For the routers, the instructions say to use Cisco 2911 routers, the same kind of router I used for the Internet. To place a device in Packet Tracer, go to the bottom left here and click on this icon for network devices, and then routers. Then you can see a selection of router models. Let's select the 2911 and place 2 of them in the network. This is what a Cisco ISR 2911 router looks like, by the way. ISR is a line of Cisco routers, and 2911 is a particular model in that line. Okay, next let's go to the switches menu here and place 2 2960 switches in the network. Here's a photo of a Cisco Catalyst 2960 switch, by the way. Catalyst is the name of a line of Cisco switch models, and 2960 is one model within that line. Okay, next we'll place the two firewalls by going to the firewall menu and placing two 5505 firewalls. Note that in the network diagram in the Day 1 lecture video, the New York branch firewall is between the router and the internet, and the Tokyo branch firewall is between the router and the switch. Depending on the network design, you might find the firewall placed in either position. This is a photo of a Cisco ASA 5505 firewall. ASA is a series of firewalls made by Cisco, and 5505 is a particular model within the ASA line. Okay, now let's place the end devices like PCs and servers. Go to the End Devices menu, and here in the End Devices tab, we can find PCs, servers, etc. So, place two PCs in the New York branch, and two servers in the Tokyo branch. Then, to represent the attacker in the diagram, place a laptop.
Hacker laptop.
Okay, now all of the devices are placed. This isn't in the lab instructions, but let's rename them to match the diagram in the lecture video. To rename a device, just click on the device name. PC1 already has the correct name, so I'll start on PC2, then switch 1, then R1, then firewall 1, then R2, then firewall 2, then switch 2, then server 1, then server 2, and finally the attacker. Okay, now we've placed and named all of the devices. To connect devices in Packet Tracer, click on this lightning bolt icon here. Now, in the next video of the course, we will study different types of cables used to connect devices together in a network. So for this video, we will just let Packet Tracer pick the cables for us by clicking this lightning bolt, which says automatically choose connection type. So I'll click on that, click on PC1, and then click on switch 1. And now they are connected. Then I'll do the same to connect PC2 to switch 1. Now here's a trick to speed things up. Hold down the control key on your keyboard and click on the lightning bolt. Then I'll connect switch 1 to R1. But notice after connecting them, I don't have to click the lightning bolt again. It is still selected because I held down control while clicking it. So I'll connect R1 to firewall 1, firewall 1 to the internet to R2, R2 to firewall 2, firewall 2 to switch 2, switch 2 to server 1, switch 2 to server 2, and finally the attacker to the internet. Now they're all connected, so I'll click cancel here, since I don't need to do any more connections. Okay, we're done with the lab instructions. We have successfully recreated the network diagram as shown in the lecture videos. Most days of the course will include a Packet Tracer lab, so you can practice configuring Cisco routers and switches. Ideally, you should try to complete the lab on your own in Packet Tracer after watching the lecture video. Then, you can check my lab video after to confirm your solutions. However, if you're having trouble doing the practice labs on your own, feel free to watch each lab video before actually trying the lab in Packet Tracer. That's not a problem. The important thing is that you get hands-on practice with Cisco routers and switches to deepen your understanding of the concepts we cover in the course, and also to prepare for the exam. Okay, that's all for this video. I hope it was...
Oh, we're not even going to configure them? Oh my, alright, I'm ready to configure. I was just placing that shit. What a waste of time.
Welcome to Jeremy's IT Lab. This is a free, complete course for the CCNA. This lab, you will use what you learned in Day 2's lecture video to connect these network devices together. You can select various types of connections from the bottom left here. We'll be using copper straight through, copper crossover, and fiber connections. Note that Packet Tracer doesn't differentiate between single mode and multi-mode fiber, but try to think about which type would be appropriate when you use a fiber connection. So, I'll start here in the bottom left. First, the connection between switch 3 and PC1. For the purpose of this lab, we're
Straight through.
assuming that auto MDIX is disabled or not supported on the devices. So we have to think about whether to use a straight through or crossover copper cable. PCs transmit data on pins 1 and 2 and receive data on pins 3 and 6. Switches are the opposite. They transmit data on pins 3 and 6. PCs will be connected to the 1 with a crossover cable. Single mode allows much longer distance. Finally, R3 and R4 are separated by 250 meters. That's too long for a UTP cable, but also not so long that we need single mode fiber. A multi-mode fiber cable would be sufficient. Let's connect them together. Leave a comment and share the video with anyone else studying for the CCNA. Welcome to Jeremy's IT Lab. This is a free, complete course for the CCNA 200-301. If you like these videos, please subscribe to follow along with the series. Also, please like and leave a comment and share the video to help spread this free series of videos and get any additional explanations. So, we've got a small network here with a few PCs, a switch, and a router.
Oh wait, let me do this D4 one. ChatGPT to go through this.
Our tasks involve some basic R1 and switch 1. We didn't cover the command in the main video, but to do so you use the hostname command in global configuration mode. Click on the device and then select CLI to access the command line interface from which we will configure each device. Now, in the lecture video I explained about how to connect to the console port of a device. In Packet Tracer you can actually do that. Connect a PC to the console port of the device, and then use the PC to do the configurations. However, simply clicking on the device itself is much more convenient, so that's what we'll be doing for these labs. Just keep in mind that in real life, you can't configure the device directly on the device itself. You have to connect to it with a computer. The current hostname for each device is displayed here. Privileged exec mode, but this isn't necessary. EN alone is fine. E, however, is too short, and we are told this is an ambiguous command. This is because there are other potential commands that begin with E, which we can see by typing E and then a question mark. As you can see, there are two potential commands, enable and exit. So if you just enter E, the router doesn't know which command you mean. However, enable is the only command beginning with EN, so EN is all the router needs to know which command you mean. Now that we are in privileged exec mode, we can use the configure terminal command to get to global configuration mode. If you want to use shortcuts again, as we did with enable and EN, the shortest version of the configure terminal command is conft. From here we can set the hostname of the router. This is done with the hostname command. I will enter hostname R1. As you can see, the hostname has changed from router to R1. Change the hostname of switch 1 as well, and that's all for step 1. Step 2 is to set the unencrypted enable password on each device to CCNA. The enable password is used to enter privileged exec mode, which is also called enable mode. Previously we had no password set, so we were able to enter privileged exec mode without any password. Now we are going to protect privileged exec mode so that only administrators can access it. The command is simple, and it is done in global configuration mode, which we are already in. Type enable password CCNA. That's it. Now let's test it out.
Man, really.